Welcome back, guys. So today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're just going to have a look at the new Claude 4.6 Opus. Got released yesterday. Some pretty cool features. I just did a few tests just to see what it is actually capable of. And it's pretty cool in terms of what it's actually able to do in terms of agents and running synergistic agents that can kind of talk to each other. So synergistic agents that can collaborate and perform tasks together. So you can now assemble agent teams to work on tasks together. Claude can use compaction to summarize its own context. 4.6 has 1 million token context window. That just reduces the context rot that you tend to find once your chat gets to a certain length, which is very useful. What you can do if you're using anti-gravity is you can compact the chat and it makes things significantly easier. But I think one of the biggest things is the agents and the focus on actual work, which is the reason I think a lot of people are calling this the focus on Claude doing work with the Claude co-work is a game changer. In fact, a couple of technology companies actually lost a whole bunch of rev share or lost a bunch of money recently when Claude 4.6 got released on the basis that it is finally clicking to the general population that this is actually a tool that is going to wipe out the white collar jobs. Is it AGI yet? I don't think so. Are we going in that direction? 100%. With Claude 4.6 Opus, the biggest thing that I found is its ability to assemble agents to work on tasks together is phenomenal. Like you have agents doing multiple tasks together, which will be significantly faster than most humans. I think coding is a little bit different. That is primarily the reason I don't use anti-gravity or Cursor to write code, because I'm just learning how to code. So I can't really say that it's writing great code, and I'd much prefer to know what I'm reading in terms of code. So if we're looking at and evaluating Opus 4.6, the reason some of these shares drop significantly is because some of these massive finance companies, if you think about even legal teams, ideally, all they really do is analyze information, gather information, and produce information to these certain companies. And I think it goes back to the theory. The thing that AI is going to impact most are the jobs that are related to the scarcity of knowledge. When I say the scarcity of knowledge, these jobs are primarily based on you harboring a certain amount of knowledge and studying a certain amount of time to ideally imprint or tattoo this knowledge in your brain and hold that knowledge and harbor it. And that's what gives you your expertise, and that's what makes you special. It really has a very massive impact in industries like that, which is an example like law and finance, where you can research reports. Because if we're looking at this right now, and it's saying like multidisciplinary reasoning, agentic search. Let's simplify this. So I asked Comet to simplify this layman's terms, because some of these things, yeah, it's cool, but what exactly does it mean? So in terms of knowledge work, which is what we're talking about, it measures the performance on economically valuable tasks across finance, legal, and professional domains. For your business, this is highly relevant since you're building AI workflows. The model's ability to handle complex business tasks like financial analysis, document processing, research, directly impacts how you're creating workflows that can handle client and business logic. You ideally have to think about this in terms of white collar jobs or your primary job, performing tasks into research or harboring knowledge. This is a very incredible tool. Quite a few technology companies are finally waking up to this. The general population is and seeing the threat that is actually AI. This is a fantastic tool if you know how to use it. Let's have a look at Agentic search, ability to locate hard information online. I tested out and I did put it through for some information and to finish off some workflows online for me. It did okay. It's not fully autonomous. You still need to direct it. The browser control it still has a long way to go. The coding benchmark, obviously, because it has phenomenal coding skills and has phenomenal capabilities in terms of coding, particularly the agentic coding, which involves planning, navigating large code bases, and debugging. There was a simple test that I did just to identify some memory leaks It's very, very simple, but it did a phenomenal job, and it was able to identify the pattern and find out where the leaks are, which is, again, cool. However, you kind of also have to realize if you're just going based on Moore's law of exponential rise of technology, it's inevitable that this technology that we're kind of witnessing is going to reach places that we actually cannot even imagine. I think I always have this conversation with people. It's like right now, what you're envisioning or what you're perceiving when it comes to AI is primarily limited on your current level of perception and imagination. It is going to get to a point where it is impossible to envision or to predict what the next 5 to 10 years are going to be because of how quickly these models are moving. If 3 years ago, if I told you you'd have an agentic browser within Claude that would be able to spin up a website for you within 5 to 10 minutes, you'd call me crazy. And I think we're in the same inflection point as the birth of the television in terms of computers, because if you look at Moore's law, it's like the amount of transistors within a computer doubles every year. And if the amount of transistors double every year, technology is going to evolve in an exponential curve. So this is going to go crazy. It is going crazy. Open AI also released a 5.3 codex model as well, which I haven't really looked at. And yes, it has a 1 million token context window. And I think that's phenomenal, especially for Claude, because it reduces the context route a lot. What else? Root cause analysis. So this assesses the model's ability to diagnose complex software failures. For our workflows and automation system, it's valuable for troubleshooting. And I think the combination of it having better root cause analysis and having long context windows would be incredibly valuable because it'd be able to re-evaluate your workflows. And once you start building agentic agents, which we are going to be building agentic agents using anti-gravity, it is going to be significantly valuable because it will be able to go through the, memory, the context with a little bit more precision, which is a massive benefit instead of you having to reiterate some things. I think this would reduce a lot of problems I've had previously where I would have to reiterate a flow of logic and I'd have to correct it sometimes. So that's why sometimes it is good to understand the logic that you're trying to project, the logic, ideally. Okay, so what do we have? We have adaptive thinking, effort, context, compaction, beta, 1 million context token, 128K output tokens. So this is actually really cool. And what else? Where are we? Here we go. Humanity's last exam. I think that's quite interesting, which is the AGI. How I guess they would be able to determine AGI, which I think we're close. We're there. I think 2026 is going to be a very impactful move for AI. Stronger reasoning means better conversational flow and more accurate responses to questions and improved ability to handle unexpected scenarios during calls. This is based on our AI voice agent models. So yeah, I think it's pretty awesome. I'll just show you guys a few workflows, a few tests that I did, and I actually found them pretty good. I think that was the memory leak test that I did. And here's the other one. I just gave it like a quick, a little bit of context. You're building a fleet business and you want to build some automations. And we just wanted to test like some of the automations and how good they are. It is pretty cool that prior to this, some of them wouldn't really work straight away. And now they're pretty cool. Like, it's just some basic tinkering. Obviously, it's not perfect yet. So we do still have to go through some of these values and stuff, but it will definitely increase your workflow significantly. I would say it is definitely going to increase and it is going to be quite a valuable addition to your toolbox. It does use more tokens, consumes usage limits faster than other models. I think that you should use Opus 4.6 for really heavy tasks and try and use 4.5 Opus is still pretty cool. I've seen some people do some pretty awesome stuff. I think someone built a game on it. Yeah, so someone did build a game on it. So you can see the ability and the capability this model has. They said that it's one shot. which I find incredible. And yeah, so we'll build some stuff with it and we'll continue making these videos. If you guys prefer this type of setup or me just kind of reviewing this kind of new models and stuff, please do let us know. And make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. If you guys have any questions, and join theschool.com where we share some workflows and knowledge. Thank you. Bye.